Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. You're the one that others turn to whenever they need assistance. You always seem to have the answers. You're the reliable one. You know, that they're having a crisis in their life, they know that they can reach out to you. You're the shoulder that they can cry on. If they need help with something at home, they know that you're going to show up. Maybe moving isn't one of those things, but they know that you're the one, you're the stable one, you're the rock, you're the foundation. Boy, can really get tiring caring for yourself and caring for everybody else. Can be kind of a drag to always be assisting others in getting what they want. And then you start looking at yourself going, what's wrong with me? Why don't I get it? Why aren't my dreams turning into reality? Well, let me share a couple of clients that I worked with just this morning, to where they were the ones that were always making it happen for everybody else, whatever they needed. And not that they were giving out of a dysfunctional way. This is just who they are. Absolutely great people that others want to be around. But they couldn't figure out why they were having such a challenge moving forward in their own lives. They were making it happen for everybody else. And one of them, it was even their career to make it happen for others. But why were they continuing to feel like it was maybe 2 steps forward and 1 step back? Worked with them in hypnosis, and both of them went back to something painful in their past where they felt like they could no longer rely on others. And they had to take it all on themselves. There was even one woman who went back to the time as a toddler, and she was sharing her toys with others that she cared about, and they broke her toys. You would think that it would be such a simple experience, but it was at that point in time when her mind made the decision, can't trust others with anything valuable. So better that you take care of it yourself so they can't hurt and break you. Why are you having such a challenge moving forward? There's a part of you holding you back because it's trying to fix everything for everybody. There's a part of you that is trying to figure out the world from its limited perspective, the age you were when you first decided that you needed to take care of everybody and everything. Some people call it a control freak. But control freaks don't always show up the way we think. You can be really laid back, and it just seems like things roll off your back. But there are certain areas where you're wounded, and because of that, you're holding on too tightly on how everything needs to look, and you're cutting off the very flow of energy that could bring about your dreams, and then not only turn them into reality, but keep them sustainable. So imagine if you could bring together all the parts of you. The younger you that is full of energy and has those dreams, as well as the older, wiser you that knows it's going to take more than just writing down your goals, cutting out pretty pictures and making a vision board and chanting to yourself minute after minute, maybe hour after hour, that it's going to take more than that. It's going to take you, your strengths, talents, and abilities for your focus until you get what it is that you want. But if you wait too long, you're going to give up. So what is it that you can do to be able to amplify and accelerate all that? Welcome to your dreams into reality. I'm Dawn Ferguson.
And I'm Drew Ferguson.
We have initials behind our name, babes. You want to talk about those initials for a moment?
Okay, I will. We started out as certified hypnotists, and then we took the next step in that vein and became certified hypnosis instructors, where we teach the certification program to members of the general public. We are also certified business coaches. Now, Dawn has more certifications in that line than I do, but I have over 40 some years of sales and sales management and sales training to kind of offset that a little bit.
What do all of those initials mean?
Not a whole lot. I mean, it looks good on paper. Nope. We have things on the wall.
Yeah. What all of it means is we know how to get you from where you are to where you want to be as quick as possible. You've got a dream that you want to experience, and we're here to assist you in that. And if what we share with you makes sense and you want to take your next step with us, we'll also offer you that. But let's start getting you moving in the direction that is going to be able to get you those results as quick as possible. Okay. By the way, if you've joined us live, you have the ability to ask us questions so we can customize this training just for you. That's one of the advantages of joining us live in these trainings. So if you move your cursor down at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a chat button, and you can send a private message to Drew and myself to where the other attendees are not going to see it. And whenever we address it, we're not going to name any names.
Right. We won't use any names. We won't even use, your cover name. we have a listener who says this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as precise as we get.
Yes. So you're going to be able to ask questions on how to customize this to you and your unique situation. And if you want to join us for our next training, go to drewdawnferguson.com/live, LIVE, to where you can choose what you want to attend. And you might see a dog tail waving next to Drew in just a moment. We're at our home office. And one of the fur babies has just joined us.
Yes, this is a very rare dog. This is known as a Patagonian Whippador.
Oh, he's lying to you. It's a cross between a greyhound and a lab. Okay, he made the name up. And babe, if you need to take a moment and take care of her, go right ahead.
She's just going to the cushion next to my desk. So.
Excellent. Okay, so let's get started on this training. Number one way to sabotage yourself. You're picking too many areas to grow at once in your life. What do I mean by that? I'm actually going to share my screen so you can see some of the things that we want you to be able to use. Oh, isn't that pretty? What if what you want can actually be done? What's your opportunity? And how are you resisting that opportunity? Just something for you to think about. Okay. More life to all. This is the number one directive of everything in our universe. It is always seeking to expand. It is always looking for ways that it can experience acceleration once it starts to expand. And more life actually shows up two different ways. It either shows up as decay, which is what you have been programmed and conditioned to experience, or it shows up as growth. Now, we actually need both of them. We have to have those fallow times. As humans, it's when we sit back and go, okay, what did I learn from this? So whenever I move forward, I can do it even better. But decay consistently leads you to that what I said about the 2 steps forward and the 1 step back. You don't feel like you've got sustainable success in any one area of your life. So more life is what everything looks to experience and you have been conditioned to experience more life through 6 major failures: denial, doubt, worry, procrastination, obstacles, and avoidance. It starts out with the denial. And that denial will typically show up as, I don't need to follow conventional wisdom. I can do things differently. And what I mean by that is I can multitask. Just reading a report this morning, a new behavioral study that they've done. Guess what? Multitasking it can be achieved. Only 2% of the population has the ability to do it. That was the results. And the 2% of the population really isn't multitasking. They're just switching channels so fast, it feels as if they're multitasking.
Right.
Now, if you cannot multitask during your day, for example, can you effectively drive and have a conversation? No. And Drew and I were in a pretty horrific car accident to prove that point, where someone was trying to do 2 things that required intense focus: talking to someone and driving a car. And because they were trying to do those 2 things, they smashed into the side of us. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, we survived that.
How are you smashing your life because you're trying to do 2 things that are requiring your focus, and neither one of them is getting all of you? Because chances are you're not in the 2% crowd. And even if you were, you're just switching channels really fast. You have 5 major areas of your life that you're going to want to improve: money, health, relationships, career, and then the untapped potential, the next level of growth, maybe going back to school, picking a hobby, something that has been lying dormant that you want to bring about. You can do one of these effectively. How long can you do it effectively before you can bring in something else? It takes 91 days for what's known as an identity upgrade, which means you need to focus on that one area with the majority of your resources for 3 months. Doesn't mean that you have to wait 3 months before you bring in the next one. No, actually right around the 8 to 9 week mark, you can start bringing in a second area that you want to improve. But for that first 9 weeks, 3/4 of the way through, there should be one area that is getting your focus, the majority of your resources for making decisions on how you're going to move forward. So denial of I can do all of this at one time means that you're going to be denying both goals that you're going after. Anything you want to add on that, babe?
Nope, you're right there.
Okay. What happens whenever we're in denial? We will then trigger the next one, which is going to be doubt and fear. And by the way, all of these have a progress side to them and ways that you can turn them around. We're just giving you the insight that you need to start moving forward. So we already know, hey, pick one area that you're going to improve. The second one is going to be the doubt and the fear that comes about because of the doubt. The doubting is when you're not sure that you have what you need to move forward. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
There's something missing in your skill set. There's something missing in your emotional optimization. And there's something missing in your focus. It's like a puzzle and you just don't have all the pieces put together. Well, what do you need to do with that? You need to address it and say, I have a right to doubt. Doubt is here for a reason because it's showing me that the picture is incomplete right now. Okay, so begin to break it down as far as what actions, what new actions do you need to be taking? What emotions are showing up that are having you feel uncomfortable that you need to be dealing with? Because it does not feel good when you're going for your goal. And how are you going to continue to keep your focus? Because you're going to be pulled away. You're going to be distracted. So prepare for that. What are you going to do then to upgrade who you are? You will pervert your progress down to your past pain if you do not focus on what's known as an identity upgrade. I'm going to give you an example of flying. Let's say that you want to take vacation, you're going someplace when you up to first class. Fabulous. You're still going to the destination. It's just how you're getting there has been upgraded. You're still on the plane. What a lot of people, and babe, I'm getting a lot of feedback again,
Okay.
just to let you know.
All right.
What a lot of people do is whenever they want to get to the destination of that area of their life that they want to improve, remember the 5 to thrive: money, health, relationships, career, untapped potential. They want to get to one of those destinations. You can't fly to all of them at once, so you pick them one. They decide, well, I need to get rid of everything I've been doing that's been bad, holding me back. Well, that's like getting off the plane. No, you still need to be on the plane. It's just saying, well, this is what's been happening. This is what I have been experiencing. How can I use those same situations to bring me out at my best? That is staying on the plane, but upgrading to first class. This is the reason why you feel like you get part of the way to success, and then all of a sudden it's gone. That's because, well, for whatever reason, you grounded the plane and you got off. So wherever you go, you are always there. It's always going to be you.
I
Oh,
think that was a line out of a movie at some point, wasn't it?
so it's you are what's going to get you there. And so keep the vehicle. Just say, okay, if I'm moving into first class, what is it I need? And here's another tip for you. Faith is going to be needed for you to move forward. But faith without respect can't take place. So where have you been disrespecting yourself? Where have you been disrespecting your dream? When people go, I don't know if I have enough faith that this is actually going to happen, that tells me there is a place where they're not honoring their dream. And their dream is asking them to step out, step up and step out and claim power. And there's an area where it's not happening. So for example, Drew brought up that we help other healing and successpreneurs build their business. And someone will go, well, I don't have enough faith that I can take my business to the next level because I'm just not seeing the flow of clients like I want to. I'm like, okay, where are you not honoring your business by showing up in the same places where your potential clients are?
Right. That's very true. And it's also said that faith without works is dead. So maybe in the back of your mind, you have a belief or a feeling that you're not doing enough, or maybe you're not giving enough to your clients to be able to build a successful business. And you need to investigate that.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're not seeing enough. That's it, because I already know that your schedule is so crowded. You are doing so many things, but you're doing so many things to hide. So How are you hiding your power because you were conditioned to do for others instead of doing for yourself? Where are you not showing up to honor your dream? Because it's going to ask you to show up. It's going to ask you to step out. I was a member of a gym for a decade, I guess, and actually let the gym membership slide about a year ago because I just wasn't getting the results that I wanted, and made a decision just a couple of weeks ago that I needed to take my fitness into a new level. Hey, moving through menopause, things changing with the metabolism, body's not working the way it used to, still doing the same output, and yet the pounds are starting to show up. I had a new a new vehicle, okay, a new plane that I was flying as far as how my body's responding. Okay. So I'm going, am I, this new level of fitness I want to experience, am I honoring my dream? Am I respecting it? And the answer that came through, and it was someone else doing a hypnosis session for me, the answer that came through was no, you're not respecting your dream, because there are things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go out. You're going to have to join a gym again. And this is what came through so clear during my hypnosis session. You're going to have to join a gym again, and you're going to have to start working with a trainer. Okay. Actually, that was what, 2-3 weeks ago. It was the end of March.
Yeah, it's working great for me. I'm down 2 pounds.
I get the revelation. He's getting, but I went out that night and I honored my vision by joining the gym and getting with a trainer, because that leads us to action. See, when a revelation comes through, not knowledge, knowledge is knowing. A revelation is how it pertains to you. When you get that insight, you've only got 72 hours to take action on it. And then after that, the door closes. The communication to your higher self that says, yeah, this is the next step you need to take. After 72 hours, that neural pathway actually begins to close. And then you're going, how come nothing's coming through? And it's going, you didn't take action on the last one. Take action on it, and we'll begin the communication again. So, denial. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to deny all your goals if you don't choose which one you're going to move into. The doubt is going to show up, and it's simply pointing out that there must be an identity upgrade. And I'm going to bring in, out of the 6, another one, which is procrastination. You will find all the reasons to put off taking action as soon as you decide, because there's something known as the terror barrier. And I don't mean little yapping terrier dog. I mean the part of you that's been conditioned to experience life, even in a negative way. It's what you are comfortable with. It's what you're familiar with. You want to talk about the terror barrier for a moment, babe?
Well, the terror barrier is something that's going to jump right up in your face and say, you really shouldn't do that. Are you sure you want to do that? Are you thinking right? Who told you to do that?
So the terror barrier is actually going to do everything it can to keep you in the same place.
It is comfortable with where you are now, or part of you is comfortable with where you are now, even though you are uncomfortable.
It's what's known.
It's what you know. It's what you understand. It's what you're experiencing now. And there's a part of you that's actually okay with that, but it's holding you back. It's not allowing you to grow and be what you know you can be.
Mm-hmm. And so expect that when you make the decision to move forward, your powerful mind is going to start throwing obstacles in your path. Not because it wants to hurt you, but simply because a body at rest tends to stay at rest, and a body in motion tends to stay in motion. It's going by universal laws.
And the human mind has learned through genetics for thousands and thousands of generations that it needs to protect itself, and it will do everything it has to prevent you from doing something that it decides may not be safe for you. So expect that type of response when you're going to go try something that you've never done before. And that part of you is going to say, are you sure you want to do that? Why don't you just sit down, have another cup of coffee, and think about it for a while?
Because the powerful part of your mind known as the subconscious, and as certified hypnotists, that's what we work with. It runs all of your habits and patterns, and whether it's success or whether it's failure, it's simply a habit and pattern. Once the subconscious mind has accepted a habit, it will never let it go. So you have to use the habit that you already have in place as a foundation for moving forward. Let me give you an example. People who have challenges with their weight. Well, I can't have them give up food, but instead I can say you've been really hungry for something and you've been using food as a substitute. When we find out what you've really been hungry for, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not food. When you find out what you're hungry for, then you'll be able to fill up on that in a healthy, safe, and functional way. And the more you fill up on what you really want, love, giving to others, finding people who will support you. Once you find the way to fill up on that, your need for food in an unhealthy way that's been packing on the pounds will begin to be released. Smoking. Why do most people pick up the smoking habit as teenagers? To be accepted. Okay, great. So what is it about you that wants to be in a relationship with others? Are you doing it because it gives you certainty or status or autonomy because you're the leader? Is it loving relationships? Do you look for relationships where you know you can count on others? So when you discover why you are really engaging in that smoking habit, then you can transfer it out to say, this is how I want to be accepted in relationships, and I no longer have to use cigarettes to do it.
When we help somebody using hypnosis become a healthy non-smoker, we take that desire for smoking and we reposition it, we retask it to change it to be a desire for something that they truly want. And it's that simple. That's how easily it works.
There is something known as universal laws. Now, a lot of people hear universal laws and think woo-woo, new age, but there's nothing new about these. They've been guiding us for, I don't know how long the universe has been around, millions of years. The law of vibration. The law of vibration says everything moves in a certain frequency. Change the frequency and you change the physical form. So let's say that you have a table around you right now, and we change its frequency by adding an igniter to it, a flame. So it will then catch fire and change its form. The table will still be there. It will be in ashes, which is what's been happening to some of your dreams because you've been allowing others to set fire to them with their expectations. So we still have the table. It's just changed its form. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So we're taking those different vibrational frequencies you already have in place with your habits and patterns, and we're saying, What can you do to change the form by changing the vibration, by raising it? That doesn't mean positive thinking. Positive thinking has been shown not to work long term. Instead, progress identity. That when an obstacle shows up, how are you going to turn it into an opportunity? What are the actions that you're taking right now that need to be tweaked? What are the emotions that need to be optimized? What's the focus that needs to take place? And it's at this point where people go, well, I have a challenge with focus because my mind is going in so many different directions at one time. What you're experiencing, it seems like so many different directions. What you're really experiencing is so many different opportunities, but they're opportunities that are scattered. So the idea is to narrow the focus, pick the one area of your life that you want to upgrade, and then say, okay, let's find all those opportunities. Let's use all the creativity that was firing off like before. But now let's get it into this one area of life where I want to turn my dream into reality. Anything you want to add to that, babe?
I'm not sure I can right now. Is my mic coming through okay?
Yeah, sure
Okay,
is.
because I just got a flash message saying that the last thing I just plugged in is not working. And the last thing I plugged in was my mic. So, okay.
Hey, anybody on the that's here live, if you can share maybe a chat message with us and let us know that you are getting both of us coming through clear, we would appreciate it. There's
Well,
a
excuse me, I am showing that my device is working. So,
okay, excellent. The law of relativity. The law of relativity is also known as the law of contrast. And it says everything just is until you relate it to something else. The subconscious mind is always looking to compare. It cannot judge something until it has something else to compare it to. So if I were to draw a box on a piece of paper, the subconscious mind is going, is it a small box? Is it a large box? And it doesn't know until we draw another box. So the subconscious mind seeks comparisons. And that's where the challenge comes in at for you achieving your dreams, because you have been conditioned to compare yourself to an outside source. You were compared when you were a little kid to maybe siblings or other people in your class. And then after that, it was going to be comparing yourself to the people in your neighborhood as far as did you have as much as they did? And now you're still comparing yourself as far as why am I having such a challenge with this? And others are moving so far ahead of me and they're not any better. So we have to use the law of contrast, the law of comparison, the law of relativity. But the comparison should be between you and your potential. That's what you want to do. Here's a little insider secret. I will never be a marathon runner. Okay? And whenever I got my genetic testing back, it actually proved what I knew all along as far as I am meant for power, not endurance. That's how I'm designed. Okay, so in the gym, working out with the weights, yes. Get me running anywhere. If you ever see me running, you would be better running too, because whatever is chasing us is very large and badass. Okay, so you need to be looking at what are you truly capable of producing. So if you've got this wild and crazy dream that is just too far out there, What is it that you can do to scale it down? There was one time where I was like, I want to go to Walt Disney World and I want to take my entire family. And then I thought about that for a while, and then I'm like, do I really want to be around those screaming grandkids the entire time? No. So I wanted to keep the dream, but the dream is for Drew and I to go to Walt Disney World, not for me to take the entire family. So while that was a possibility, it was not within my potential of paying for a vacation and still enjoying it, having everybody there like that. So start looking at your potential. By the way, you're going to be relying on your beliefs about this, and your beliefs, or 95% of them, accepted by age 13, not based on what you were truly capable of doing, but based on what others around you wanted you to do to make their life easier. The only way, once you become an adult, that beliefs can be upgraded is through action, which is the reason why we addressed implementation first. Is that, are you taking the action to turn your dreams into reality? Or does the thought come up of, oh, maybe I'd like to go to Disney World? Oh, no, who am I to think that? Yeah, don't even bother getting any information from them. It's never going to happen. See, just something as simple as, well, let's start looking at Disney. And maybe let's look at, do I want to stay on the grounds? Is there a resort around me? So allowing yourself to dream and then saying, okay, let's look at what I would need to focus on. What emotions do I need to experience? And then what actions do I want to take? Most people want to do it actions first. But actions are going to be based on your emotions, and your emotions are going to be based on your focus. So start with the focus, then the emotional optimization, and then the actions that you need to move into. So the law of relativity, the law of comparison. Look at where you want to go. What is the potential? And now there's going to be a gap. There's going to be a void. There is going to be space that needs to be filled between you and getting the end result of your dream. What needs to go in that gap? Well, if left up to your subconscious, it will be all the painful problems and all the reasons why you can't move forward, because the subconscious can only regurgitate what it's already experienced. You have to consciously choose. You have to make a decision. And decision-making capabilities are very limited. Every day you get a reset in that resource, but once you've used it up for the day, then it's gone. And most people use that resource for making decisions for everybody else, which is the reason why when we started out, we talked about how reliable you are and how dependable. And others can always turn to you, and you'll do more for them sometimes than you will to take care of yourself. That's because by the time you get around at the end of the day to take care of yourself, there ain't nothing left. You've been applying it towards everybody else. Anything you want to add to that, babe? Unmute your mic.
Sorry, you're absolutely correct. It's said that a general never makes a move without a plan. And just like that general, for you in your life, in your business world, in your family life, whatever it happens to be, you need to have a plan. And then you need to implement the plan. And as you're implementing this plan, you're thinking about what your next plan is going to be. It just makes sense to do that because that's the way the brain works.
I already made a plan that when we're done here today, I'm going to the gym. It's leg workout day. Okay, I'm powering through. Drew has been invited to go along with me. He's got his own separate membership. I had to make that decision first thing this morning of what I was doing today, because I knew that if I waited to make the decision after working with clients all morning and then doing this training this afternoon, that my decision-making capabilities to take care of myself were going to be used up. And that if I waited until approximately 3:15 today, Central Standard Time, to decide if I was going to the gym. I was going to go to the comfort zone of going to the couch now and sitting there relaxing, watching Formula One practice. Where are they at, by the way? Anyways, China, Singapore. One of my favorite sports because they are elite level athletes, and the focus they have to have going a couple hundred miles an hour on twists and turns to keep from hurting anybody else and killing themselves is incredible. This is the reason why I studied them. And so what do they have to do to prepare? It is that same focus of what's the end result. The end result is winning the championship for the year, but now you got to back it off, and then you got to win the race. But to first, how's it go? To finish first.
Finish first, you must first finish.
Okay, how are you finishing your day? I couldn't wait until 3:15 to make the decision that I was going to work out. That was made at 5 o'clock this morning whenever I got up and laid out my day. So what are you doing to make a decision while you still have the resources of this is what I'm going to do to turn my dream into reality today? Do not wait until you have nothing left and then decide, well, this isn't how I'm going to take care of myself. In just a moment, we're going to begin to wrap up with a plan of action. Plus, I want to get into one other law, which is the law of cause and effect. But first, if this has been making sense to you and you're like, okay, how can I continue to move forward with this? Because I said that there were 6 decay states that you are already familiar with. You've been conditioned to experience them. How can you actually move them into growth? I'm going to share how you can be able to do that and do it in a way to where it's going to be so simple for you to say yes to your next level of success. So what is it that separates you from achievers? Denial, doubt, worry, procrastination, obstacles, and avoidance. We have put together a course from goal setting into goal getting that goes over the 6 fears that hold you back, that how you can keep your focus, what you must do to actually break through the terror barrier again and again and again, because it's going to keep showing up. All 6 laws of the subconscious mind that you must know and have a revelation of how they work in your life to move forward. And this home study course, we are making it available to you for an investment of $47. Go to drewdonferguson.com/goals, GOALS. You have access to it for $47, and you have access to this course for $47, which, by the way, is over half off of what it normally goes for. You have access to that for the next 72 hours. And after that, it goes back up to the full investment. Why is that? We are not going to allow you to continue to condition yourself to stay stuck and struggling. Remember how we talked earlier? When you come across something, if you're like, yeah, that's an opportunity that is going to assist me in moving forward, if you don't take action on it within 72 hours, you are reinforcing your subconscious mind that it should experience something but not use it to move you forward. And go back to your comfort zone. We are not going to enable that to happen any longer. So for your $47 investment, complete access to the course to where you can start today moving through into that identity upgrade that is going to support your dreams turned into reality.
So I'm going to interrupt her for Dawn for a second, and I'm going to give you something that worked for me so well in my career as a sales representative, as a sales trainer, sales manager. Okay, when it's coming to the end of your day, and you're pretty much out of energy. You know, like Dawn says, your resources are dwindling to practically nothing. I'm going to challenge you to do one little thing. And the reason why I'm going to challenge you to do it is because when I did it throughout my sales career, I never failed to land at some point doing this habit, a major account that helped make me a star. Okay, very simply. And that's make one more call. Now, back in the day when I was doing it, we were doing face-to-face stuff all the time. Okay. Now, today, we can make that call by phone, by computer, however. There's lots of different ways to make that one more call. But talk to one more potential client. When you're absolutely at the end of your day and you're at the end of your rope, talk to one more person.
Or, because this is turn any dream into your reality, take one more action. But you got to decide in the morning that you're going to do that. Don't wait till the time gets there. So turning any dream into your reality is going to require you to take that one more step. But don't wait till you're faced with, should I do it or not? Because then by then, your resources are going to be used up. Okay, I said that I was going to give you one more insight and then we were going to wrap it up with a plan of action. Law of cause and effect. All causes have effects. But what most people do is they treat the effects or the symptoms without ever getting to the cause. Drew and I just finished training a group of CHs, and one of them was a critical care doctor who said that she was losing patients, and I don't mean her patients as far as an emotional state, but losing actual clients that didn't necessarily need to die. And she wanted to get to the cause of that. And that is what's known as adaptation or avoidance. Yes, thank you. All life either adapts or maladapts. You either figure out a way to move through it or you figure out an excuse. Most people just want to treat the symptoms. Pop another pill. There's nothing wrong with taking medication. But when you have to take a medication to treat the side effects of the drug that you're taking that's treating the side effects of the other drug that you're taking, now we've got a challenge. So you want to look at what is the true cause. And so many of the causes of what we're experiencing in life, of those symptoms, are the beliefs that we've accepted about ourselves. You know, there is what's known as health legacy in the medical community, where they're looking back at your history. And there are some patients whose father had a heart attack when they were 47. And now it's interesting, at 46, this was an actual case that I dealt with. At 46, now she's beginning to have challenges with her heart. Why is that? Well, yeah, the genetics that are there. I was talking to a doctor just yesterday where we were comparing the genetics are there, but it doesn't mean that they have to fire off. Maybe it's wired in your DNA that you have the possibility of heart challenges. What is going to determine whether or not those genetics fire off is your internal environment. And if you start going, yeah, Dad had a problem with his heart when he was 47. Mom had some challenges with hardening of the arteries when she got older. And if that's your internal focus, now you're going to experience stress emotions that are going to open up the doorway for those cells to maladapt And at 47, you wind up with a heart condition. Not because that was your destiny, but because you learned to maladapt. So we have,
And by maladapting, you manifested the problem.
yes. And this is the reason why we have doctors going, why are patients getting sick when they don't need to? What have they believed about themselves? And a belief is something that you've accepted as the truth about you. It's a personal truth, but that doesn't mean it's a universal truth. So what is the true truth in this situation? This is when we want to go back to, what did you decide? What did you accept that was okay about you, not based on your potential, but based on the conditioning that others gave to you so you could fit into their world? That's what we want to begin to look at. And what is it that needs to be upgraded there to what is the true truth for you? But for you to be able to do that, for you to start getting to those causes, you have to take action to prove to your powerful subconscious mind that you are going to move through to who you really are. See, it isn't so much about the goal that you've set, about turning the dream into the reality. It's who you're becoming, the revelation of the true power that you do hold to make that happen. But you've got to do so quickly. The longer it takes to turn that dream or some aspect of it into your everyday situational awareness, the longer you allow it to take, the more you will be held back by the conditioning of your comfort zone. So let's put this all together in a plan of action for you. Number one, what's the one area of your life that you're looking to improve? Is it going to be money? Is it going to be your health, your relationships, career, or is there another area that you haven't even tapped into yet? So number one, where are you going? Number two, that is going to be your focus for the next 91 days as you do an identity upgrade. Number three, what do you need to focus on? What emotions do you need to optimize? And then what actions do you need to take? Number four, how will you hold yourself back? You already know what you're going to do. So let's put together a plan then to address that whenever you decide, oh, I don't want to get off the couch. And then number five, use us as a resource, whether it is this course, goal setting to goal getting, drewdawnferguson.com/goals, GOALS, multiple, because you use it again and again and again. Or it's reaching out to us and having a private conversation on how we can support you at 636-699-7791. You have to start taking advantage of the opportunities that are in your world, not continuing to recreate what you've already got. Okay, more life. Everything about you is going to seek fuller expression, but that fuller expression is either going to be adapting or maladapting. You get to choose. We believe in you and that you can accomplish this. And until you develop your own belief, borrow ours. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I need to go get ready to work out at the gym now.
Yeah, and she's going to drag me along too. Well, it's a cool day, so I didn't walk. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you, and have a great day.
Bye now.